welcome back in the limelight. It's Clarissa here with yet another superstar entrepreneur that I would love for you to know this week. But before we say that, I always do remind you to please like and share and subscribe and hit the bell notification. You are in the limelight. As I said before, this is Entrepreneur Talk. But before, again, we get to our guest, I'm going to remind you that these interviews you can see on YouTube. You're going to be able to hear them on Apple Podcasts, Google Play, and Inspired News Radio. So thanks to our friends over there. You are also going to see this interview in the limelight, the In the Limelight magazine. There it is. As you know, these are the Lamborghinis on the cover. Good friends of mine who were very pleased with the article that we did for them. And we've got a new magazine out. So the new magazine, I don't have the hard copy of yet, but if you'd like to see it, and I really think you should because the cover art is something very special, go over to inthelimelightmedia.com, click under magazines, and you'll find it right there. Don't forget to follow me on social. You can find me on social pretty much anywhere under Clarissa Burt. So without further ado, I'm going to bring in the man, the myth, the legend, the man that's behind, well, let's just put it this way. As an entrepreneur, put him as an entrepreneur is an understatement. This gentleman has been in the game for a very long time, and he's been extremely successful at what he does. I know him because he lives here in town where I live in Phoenix, Arizona. And I think that we connected through LinkedIn. There's the power of LinkedIn and networking there. As you know, how I speak to networking as frequently as you can and to open all possibilities. This gentleman and I did have a meeting, and I went down, I showed him my magazine, and we are now collaborating. And this is another reason why I wanted to bring him on, is because he's really in it for the goodness of what the company does. I'm going to let him tell you a little bit more about that. I'm going to bring in Jim Ratcliff. There he is. And not only is he the CEO and I'm not going to go founder, but I am going to go president of Rowpar Industries, but he is the driving force behind ClōSYS, which is a mouth healthcare system, and I'd like for him to talk about that if he would. Good morning and welcome.
Good morning, and thanks for having me here, Clarissa.
You are so welcome. You know, Jim, we talk to entrepreneurs, and we talk to them about all the good times, the bad times, and what to expect. And in these very uncertain times, how is it that are you having to do well, you're again so successful with, let me back up. ClōSYS is extremely successful. It's in everything from Walmart to Walgreens. It can be found everywhere. It's on Amazon, and it's global. It's all over the world. So let's start with the amount of success that ClōSYS has had, and then come back to the question, in these times with a product that is that successful, do you too find yourself having to course correct?
Well, these are unprecedented times. And so, yes, we're doing new things to cope with the coronavirus. For the last 6 or 7 years, we've been growing double digits in the distribution of our products, which are toothpaste, oil rinse, oil spray, all premium, all best in class, outperform the competition. Mm-hmm. Yes, thank you. And
right.
Since the coronavirus, things have changed a bit. First of all, most dentists and dental clinics closed down to everybody except emergency cases.
Right.
One of the ways that bugs enter your mouth or enter your body is through your mouth, as well as your nose and your eyes. And so they were sort of on the front lines of this whole infection, and they really needed to, for their own safety and for the safety of their patients, not be up close and personal. So that part of the business has changed. The other part of the business is what you've seen in grocery stores and supermarkets and pharmacies, which is people who are concerned start hoarding things.
I think it's 1 o'clock, Jim.
Yes. My regulator clock is trying to keep up with us.
I think it's 1 o'clock, everybody. That's
yes. Good afternoon. Anyway, always trying to get a word in edgewise.
There you are. There you go.
But we had one gentleman online buy $7,000 worth of toothpaste one day since the coronavirus.
Really?
Now, a tube of toothpaste maybe costs $7 and lasts for a couple months. So that's a lot of toothpaste.
That is a lot of toothpaste.
And it more is emblematic of what people are going through in the last 2 months in terms of being really concerned and anxious. So on the consumer side, things have been going very rapidly. And on the dental side, we've been very concerned about the dental teams that have been let go or furloughed, the talent that's represented in those small entrepreneurs that are dentists and dental clinics spread across the country.
Right.
So those are the kind of moving parts we see.
Well, let me ask you this: how is ClōSYS different enough to have somebody pay $7 for a tube?
Sure. All of our products, our toothpaste and our oral rinses contain the same active ingredient, which is activated by saliva in the mouth. It's patented, so it's different than everybody else's. It releases a small but efficacious amount of gas that can kill bad bacteria, leave good bacteria intact, and break up biofilms, which are the home where the pathogenic, the bad bacteria live. And it can do that in about 10 seconds. And so our products outperform the competition in terms of preventing the two diseases that are at epidemic proportions in the mouth, which are caries and gum disease, both of which are caused by bacteria that live inside biofilms. And biofilms are sort of like moss on a rock, slime on a pier, the air-free, slippery, slimy things that the dentist or the hygienist removes by scraping. But if we can keep them from regrowing, which is what our products do, then it reduces the amount of bacterial load and chance for infection. And that's what. And
this is how oral health and general healthcare are linked.
Yeah, there have been probably two changes. First of all, is the recognition that the head is actually connected to the body.
Right.
That what goes in your mouth, through your nose, in your eyes, makes it down to your lungs and your stomach and your windpipe. The second is that not all bacteria are bad. People now are drinking probiotic drinks. They're taking probiotic tablets. They're taking bacteria that they know are good for their system. Previously, the thought was if you find a bacteria, the only good bacteria is a dead bacteria, and that's neither possible to accomplish nor is it desirable, because some of these guys actually prevent infection, prevent disease, and that's why people are doing the probiotics thing, for example. So it's important. The objective is to get an oral ecology that's in balance, rather than try to get rid of all the co-inhabitants of your body.
Right.
This is a great lunchtime conversation, by the way, to talk about.
Yeah, no, without a doubt. Well, I mean, I think we should preface the fact by underscoring that you are not a dentist, nor have you ever been, correct?
That's right.
But you certainly know enough about, Sorry?
My background's in management,
Exactly. Exactly. But you obviously would know probably as much as, I'm going to go out on a limb here, as much as any dentist would about oral health. I mean, that's the business that you're in. So there was, I don't know if it was a myth that was going around that there was a link between not flossing and cancer. Can you speak to that?
not flossing in cancer?
Yeah, if you didn't floss, not flossing, the buildup around your gums could lead to cancer. I don't know if it was gum cancer, general cancer. I don't know. I didn't know if you know any more about that, because there was something going around for a while about it.
I'll be perfectly blunt. I don't know. I can tell you that not flossing, not removing stuff between your teeth and your gum, leaves you vulnerable to infections of all kinds, and chronic infections are associated with the onset of cancers. But the direct link, that doesn't ring a bell for me.
So, okay, then what is the relationship between home oral care and the preventative treatments that we get at a dentist's office, for example?
Sure, they're intricately connected, and for a lot of good reasons, dentists and hygienists think that what they do in the office is that they're responsible for your for your care, and yet the very biofilms and plaque that they remove start regrowing as soon as you have your next meal, and they regrow at a certain rate, different for everybody.
Right.
So what you do between that visit and the next visit determines the amount of regrowth of bacteria, the amount of infection, so you can actually see improvement, and the hygienist can see improvement over that time frame. Or they can say, well, just sort of looks like always, I'm scraping the crud off your teeth, You can't mechanically remove that plaque. When it calcifies, it's a bit like the coral reef. There's a guy at Arizona State University in anthropology that collects skulls, and he's got skulls of people that are prehistoric, and they've got plaque and calculus on their teeth because that remained when the rest of the head disintegrated. And he can see more plaque grow amongst people who have grain diets, agricultural diets like most of us have, than the people who were hunter and gatherers that ate the paleo diet, if you like.
The paleo diet,
because there's more sugars in the agrarian diet, and the sugars help the bacteria grow and build the plaque and so forth. So
there's a good reason to eat sugar?
Pardon?
That's a good reason to eat sugar?
Yes. Yes.
Oh, that is exciting news, Mr. Ratcliff. That is very exciting news for me. I am completely addicted to sugar. Okay. Oh, man. Anyway, all right. So the next, first of all, I wanted to let everybody know, to learn more about ClōSYS, you can go to closys.com. You see it on the ticker underneath. We're going to let you know where you can find ClōSYS in the social media arena. You can go to facebook.com/ClōSYS, or Twitter is Oral Care Pioneer. On LinkedIn, it is linkedin.com/company/ClōSYS-health-care. And on YouTube, you can just simply go to Mr. ClōSYS. Is that right?
You got it. Thank you very much.
Are you considered Mr. ClōSYS? Are you Mr. ClōSYS? Is that you, Mr.
I think there have been more than one Mr. ClōSYS, but yeah.
Wow. So I know that, as we take a step back into the correlation between good oral health and good general health. You were supposed to be at a conference coming up in September, and you may still be. It depends on how COVID rolls out. But it's the World Cardiology Congress in Paris from the 8th to the 10th of September. And again, it's oral care for seniors and heart health. I think we go back to that correlation, but I'm not really quite sure how. I know, by what I'm eating and heart health, but how is that directly related to what's happening in the mouth?
Well, for seniors, which is, we have the only product set of ClōSYS Silver that is designed for seniors. And seniors have a number of things that are going on that create some special health needs. The percent of adult root cavities and gum disease in adults over 55 is much, much higher. And so the silver product was created to combat both of those. There's some other things going on. When we get older, our nasal passage contracts, and so we find ourselves thinking, gee, I'm doing a lot more breathing through my mouth. Well, that does two things. First of all, it dries the oral tissues, so people are more prone to dry mouth and xerostomia that affects our sense of taste. So that's another thing that happens with age. The third, and this is for the categories of people in their 80s and their 90s, you lose the ability to chew. And this may not sound like a big deal, but it is a big deal in terms of nutrition. So if you can't fully chew your food, then you don't digest your food fully, and therefore you don't get the nutrition from the food you eat. And that happens over time. It doesn't happen instantly, so you don't notice it. But you want products that are going to help people fight the two big diseases that occur in seniors simultaneously, oral diseases, and at the same time help them combat problems that they have that are associated with just the natural process of getting older.
Yeah. All right. That's a whole nother show, Jim. I know that's a whole nother show, Jim, but I'm a senior citizen. And so anyway, I'll be 61 in a week. So we're working on it. We're working our way up there, Jim. We are working our way up there. I know that you have a free gift. Thank you for that. I wasn't expecting that. It's awesome. We have a free gift for would you like me to explain it? Would you like to go ahead and do it?
I lost you there for a moment.
Yeah, I know it does. It's coming in and out. There's a huge overload due to the virus of people going live and using recording devices. So the bandwidth isn't usually what it is. But you're giving away a free gift, and it's 1 month. You're going to get a 1 month kit, everybody, of ClōSYS oral rinse and toothpaste for the first 5 emails that go to info@closys.com. And it says something about, I'm not sure the handwriting here, including shipping address and email. Oh yeah, put the email, you put your shipping address in there, only to the United States, everybody. So if you're in Canada or anywhere else in the world, that won't work. But if you're in the continental United States, that will work. And for every email, Rowpar will donate an equivalent to Feeding America. How exciting is that?
Food bank. You've seen the pictures of people in line who can't get enough food on their table normally and are going to the food bank. So we want to make sure that they have some oral care too. So
that's awesome. So everybody, okay. So for the first 5 people that send you an email, they get a kit.
Right.
And you're going to donate the equivalent amount to Feeding America. That's really great. Yeah. What a guy, Jim. What a guy.
Well, thank you, Clarissa. We're just trying to help people get well and stay well. And it's
absolutely
a special challenge for a lot of folks during this time.
It certainly is. Well, sir, it's been a pleasure having you on the show. If there's any parting words, we'd love to hear them for the entrepreneurs that are listening in that could use some advice possibly right now.
Well, I guess what we're trying to do is stay in touch with our people, the people that are in our small organization, the people that we work with that are vendors and accounts. Just ask how they're doing and what we can do to be helpful to them, because we're all in this together, and we'll be better as a result of it, of working together.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, I think that's really great advice, Jim. Thanks so much for that, everybody. Mr. Jim Ratcliff. All right. It's been lovely having you, Jim. Be well. Take care of yourself, and we'll see you soon.
See you, Clarissa. Bye.